Pixar Prime 10 here, and today I'm bringing you a video review of the Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Crosshairs. Very happy to have this figure, of course, just like the entire Age of Extinction line, and Crosshairs was a very awesome and cool character in the movie, so I'm very happy to have him in toy form. Probably my new favorite of the three new Autobots from Drift, Hound, and Crosshairs. Probably like Crosshairs the most. You got Transformers Generations Deluxe Class number 2, and you got Crosshairs' modes on the back. You got Bumblebee, Slug, and Scorn. You got his bio on the back there. You want to give that a quick little read. You got sidearm blasters, and you saw him use those in the movie and in the trailer when he jumps off the ship. So yeah, Crosshairs, got the authentic Transformers logo thing that you guys know I love. But, yeah, nothing else to say with this box, so I'm really excited to pop Crosshairs out of here. So, let's do that right now, and we'll get a closer look at the figure. Alright, guys, here we have Crosshairs out of his packaging and in his awesome-looking vehicle mode. Now, very quickly, we're going to set Crosshairs aside and look at his accessories, because you guys know I like to do that first. So he comes with 3 guns, because as we know from the movie, Crosshairs was a big gunslinger. Not as much as Hound, but he was. So first off, he has 2 identical handguns, as you can see right here, which have no paint applications, but are not even that detailed. You got little detail inside there, but other than that, they're very short. The pegs are very small, so it's very hard for him to even hold them. And these guns I'm not that huge a fan of, unless you're making him doing some sort of double wield thing. But this gun I very much do like. You got like the ammo round, the other handle for him to hold with his other hand, the main handle, little peg up here. You got the machine gun. It's a machine gun, and it's very, very cool looking. I mean, they're black. Not much you can do with detail on a gun, but I really do like these guns. I think they look really good. I'm really happy we got authentic looking guns for Crosshairs rather than stupid, big, giant things where you push the missile and it fires, or you press a spring and it fires. I don't like that. But, these are his guns. So, very, very cool. That's what he comes with. And as for Crosshairs himself, I love Crosshairs. He is my favorite new Autobot in the movie. My favorite Autobot is still Optimus, but my favorite new Autobot is absolutely Crosshairs. I love his attitude. I thought he looked cool. I loved his vehicle mode, which we have right here. So as you can see, you got the green and the black, and I think that's one reason I automatically love him. It's because the colors green and black automatically speak to me, well, because of Ben 10, but I also just love that deco. We have, I think this is a Corvette, I'm not really even sure, but it looks very cool. You have the awesome silver rims, cool black spoiler, the black stripes going across it from the wheels, the back just looks awesome. You got an Autobot logo there and there, you got the clear headlights, the logo that is not painted, down point. You got the clear windows, and then the back window, which is not clear. I would have liked it to see some red taillights and a silver license plate, but whatever. Paint applications is something I do not look for nowadays because it's something that we haven't gotten for a while. On the bottom here, you can basically see his robot mode. One thing that I recommend to store his guns is flip his hands like that, and put his guns in like that. And then if you want to get the big gun in there, I usually separate this part, and then underneath the hood, I just stick it in there, and it actually fits very, very well. But, yeah, I really like this vehicle mode. It rolls very well, but one thing that I do not like is, I think it's this wheel. Sometimes comes out, and as you can see, I'm able to just, well, not pull it off. I guess it doesn't want me to do it right now. But, sometimes that wheel just comes right off, and because of that, sometimes when it's rolling, the wheel gets, like, caught, and then as it's rolling, that wheel won't move. Not that much of an issue, because I don't really play with my toys all that often. They mainly just sit on a shelf. But yeah, this is his vehicle mode. I think it looks absolutely awesome, especially for the character. And yeah, I just really like it. So to transform him to his robot mode, it's really just a lot of unpegging and then straightening out. It's not that hard of a transformation. So then take those pieces down from the arms, and then take these and unpeg those, and then unpeg the shoulders up here, like that, and then this part all comes undone, and this is going to be his jacket, as you guys probably know from the many reviews this guy already has. Come down here, rotate the legs, rotate out the heel spur on both sides. Okay, and then you want to come here and then kind of pull this back and take this little leather section and then, well, not really leather, rubber, and then pull that out. We'll get to that later. Take these tires, flip those out, and then take this back section. And this part's kind of tricky to do. You got to get a good hold on them. You want to take that and fold that down like that. Okay. And then rotate out the heel spur. Kind of pull this back because it will get in the way. And then put his legs down, straighten out his arms, and basically you have Crosshairs in his robot mode. It's not that hard a transformation, but we're not quite done yet. As you guys know in the movie, Crosshairs had a jacket, and the toy designers did their absolute best with trying to replicate it. I think they did a pretty good job, but not the best. But what you need to do is, with these little things here, as you can see, there's little tabs right there. You can see them. If I put his arm down right there, you can see on there. And then there's holes that you guys can't really see. Yeah, you get right there. And you have to get those in there. Now, one of these is very easy for me, I don't think it's this one. I think this is, okay, that's the one that goes in easily for me and doesn't give me a hard time at all. But then there's the one on the other side that whenever I try to get it in, it will not go in because it's bigger than the hole. So I use a pair of scissors, unless, is this going in? Yeah, so what I do is I just grab a pair of scissors, and very gently, because you don't want to break that off, just push it in. And it can be very tough to get in there. But eventually you'll get it in. And then you have Crosshairs' overcoat on him. Now, I think what they were trying to... I could be wrong, but I feel like they were trying to go for a Sherlock Holmes kind of guy with him. I mean, you got like these... I think it was a Scottish accent is what he had. And he's got like the lab coat, but I highly doubt that's what they were going for. But here we have Crosshairs in his robot mode. And like I said, Crosshairs is my favorite character from the movie overall. Maybe even more than Optimus. But it's just because his design is so freaking cool. He's got the overcoat. He was very tall in the movie. His attitude was very cool. And I love the scene where they're in the spaceship and Hound is like... Oh, no, what? Okay, Hound... Cade says, we're getting my daughter back. And then Crosshair says, well, what's in it for me? And then Hound puts a gun to his head and says, we're getting the boss back. That's what's in it for you. And then Crosshair's like, okay, very persuasive. And that was just funny to me. I love his character. And then there's also a scene where Optimus says, once we help you guys, we're off this planet. And then Kay was like, well, what do you mean? And then Crosshair was like, goodbye, see ya. He's just funny. He was a funny character and a welcome addition to the Autobot team, in my opinion. I love his design for his toy here. I think it very much conveyed what he looked like. As you can see, we have the black here, which is supposed to replicate the overcoat that goes to the back here. I think when you look at the back, it really does give more of an effect that it's an overcoat, because you have like these two things here that you can make swaying in the wind, and then you have this thing, which looks like a big droopy coat. This piece does bend to, like, go that way, like you can bend it and then it will go up this way. But when I did it, I heard like a crack, which is normal, but then I looked at it and there was stress on it, so I was very concerned, so I don't do it. For his head, he has a very, very nice head sculpt, very much like the movie, although I don't really like how he's squinting. That's a little weird. He's got blue eyes, white piping, which is very, very cool. His goggles, as you guys know from the movie, Crosshairs had goggles that one was red, one was blue, kind of like 3D goggles. I'm kind of upset that they didn't do that here, but like I said, paint apps, we don't really see that nowadays. His legs are a little weird looking, they're kind of chicken-legged, but it's kind of because of the jacket. You can't really get him to stand any other way. For his articulation, his head is on a ball joint, but you're only going to get it moving side to side. His elbows not his elbows, his shoulders are on a in-and-out joint, or whatever you would call that. They have a rotation at the forearm, and then the elbow joints are on sliding joints. The wrist swivel, nothing at the waist. The hips are on ball universal joints, and then they also have a very slight ratchet joint at the knee, and then his feet will go forward and back. So, very good articulation, actually. For his guns, like I said, you can have the two guns and have him double wielding it like that, which is really, really cool. you can have the scene where, like, he jumps off the spaceship and he's like, and, like, he shoots the cons. That's also another scene I love, where Cade is like, where are you going? And then Crosshairs goes, to away some hate, and he busts up some Decepticons. And then we have this big machine gun, which I also like putting in here, because then I can replicate the scene where they run into the lab where they have the Transformium, and they're, like, testing Transformers. I don't remember what the lab name was called from the movie. I haven't seen it since its release day. And then Crosshairs jumps in and points the gun up and fires it up in the air, and then just basically scares the crap out of everyone. And it was a very, very cool scene when they raid that factory when Bumblebee jumps through the window. But one thing I like to do is, if you can get it, I like sticking these guns up in here. It's kind of like, you know, he's got them in his coat, and then when no one's looking, he pulls them out and then fires them at people. But yeah, Crosshairs is a very, very cool figure and a very, very cool character, and I really like his robot mode. So one thing I do not like is I don't like how the coat limits his leg articulation so much, but then again, it's not like I need his legs moving that much, but I would have liked to see more. I would have liked to see the goggles painted. I don't really like these giant things hanging off the side of his arms, but then again, they kind of look kind of cool. But anyway, we're going to get Crosshairs back to his vehicle mode. So what you want to do first is slide that up, slide these, or rotate these in, and then like I said, it's more or less just getting everything into position. It's not really transforming, and pull those out, because it's just not. It's not the same. Fold those in, which you want to be careful that you're not ripping them, like I probably might have. And then rotate these legs in, rotate the heel spur in, rotate that in, and then because of the way the heel spurs are designed, that will clip together. As you can see, the car is just almost done. It's not hard at all, which is kind of a downgrade, if you ask me. I miss the days when movie transformations were very difficult. You want to peg that in there, and then you have the front of the car done. And this section here is something that gives me a lot of trouble. Well, not this part. This shoulder section generally pegs in very easily for me. And, oh, nope. Oh, I don't know why it's not now. But there, you can see that pegs in. But then this part right here, well, these like arms pegged into here, and this one is the one that gives me trouble most of the time, but you can see that one went pegged in. Maybe it's the other one that gives me trouble. But here we have Crosshairs back in his vehicle mode. So, my overall opinions on this figure, is that it's a very nice figure. I think the vehicle mode is a wonderful representation. The robot mode, not a great, fantastic representation, but a good one. And I think it's lacking a few paint apps in both modes. But hey, I mean, when you have this much black and green, who's complaining? Do I recommend this figure? Absolutely, especially if you're a fan of Crosshairs like me. Pick it up. It's a wonderful figure. So, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video review for Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Crosshairs. Until next time, guys, have a great day.